9. NAYA Rivera. In July of 2020, actress NAYA Rivera used the last ounce of strength she had left to rescue her son from drowning in California's Lake Piru. He explained that he and his mother were swimming in the water when something went wrong. At some point, NAYA helped him onto the boat before sinking below the waves. She never resurfaced. Ventura County Sheriff Bill Ayub said in a statement that Lake Piru is dangerous to novice swimmers and that it experiences heavy currents during the daytime. It's believed that the boat began to drift as it was unanchored, and that NAYA battled the strong currents in order to ensure her son's safety. Sadly, she didn't have enough strength left to save herself. NAYA's body was pulled from the water 5 days after the fatal incident. Swimming is allowed in the lake, but it has been the site of numerous drownings over the years. Following the Glee star's death, a petition was created so that warning signs would be placed at the lake to make sure everyone is aware of the dangers they may face. 8. Giant Cobra. In the Indian state of Karnataka, a mother saved her child from a potentially fatal snake attack in August of 2022. The young boy and his mother were coming out of their house when the scary encounter took place. At first, they didn't seem to notice the giant cobra slithering along the bottom of the stairs, but it soon became evident that their lives were in danger. As they descend the last step and walk into the street, the little boy sees the snake and decides to play with it. He stands in front of the cobra's path, only infuriating the animal. The snake rears up as if it's about to strike at the boy, but his mother doesn't let that happen. At the last second, the child's mother pulls him away from the cobra, and they watch from a short distance away as the snake slithers past them. A CCTV camera recorded the close call, and the video was posted to Twitter by a user called Anu Sathish. The caption reads, "Her presence of mind saved the kid." And that's exactly what happened. Without the mother's watchful eye and quick response, who knows what they may have experienced. In the end, neither the child nor the mom was injured by the cobra. 7. Attempted kidnapping. A quick-thinking mother from New York thwarted a man's kidnapping attempt on her 5-year-old son in 2021 by pulling him to safety through the window of his car as he tried to drive away. The incident took place in Queens as a mother and her young children were walking down the street. A car was parked near them with 2 people inside of it as the family came into view of the surveillance camera that caught the whole encounter on video. As one of the young boys ran ahead of the rest of his group, a man got out of the parked car and headed in his direction. The kidnapper then grabs the child and forcefully carries him back to his car, placing him in the back seat. The mother and the other people she was with quickly chased after the man and fought to save the boy from a potentially life-threatening situation. After a brief struggle, the child's mother was able to pull her son out of the open front passenger window. The 2 suspects then drove away in the vehicle as several people tried to stop them from leaving. In the end, nobody was injured and the young boy was saved from the attempted kidnapping. The mother, later identified as Dolores Diaz, was interviewed by NBC New York, and she said that the whole ordeal left her shaken and scared. Luckily though, one of the suspects, 24-year-old James McGonigal, was arrested and brought up on charges of reckless endangerment, attempted kidnapping, and acting in a manner injurious to a child younger than 17. The second suspect involved in the incident has yet to be caught by authorities. 6. Mother's quick reflexes. In Medellin, Colombia in 2019, a mom saved her child from falling over the side of a balcony, protecting him from what would have been an extremely nasty fall. The incident occurred in the Laurelis Colonial Office building in June of that year. The young boy and his mother are seen stepping out of an elevator in the viral footage recorded by surveillance cameras. The mother is holding her son's hand, and it looks as though she's speaking to someone on the phone. A few moments pass as the child patiently waits for his mother to lead him to their destination. But then the little boy lets go of his mother's hand and can be seen heading toward the railing that appears to be completely open in the middle. Without so much as a warning, the child plunges head first through the opening in the railing. However, the mother notices this and quite literally jumps onto her stomach and grabs her son's leg at the last possible second. Worried bystanders who witnessed this quickly ran to the mom's aid and helped her pull the child to safety. Thankfully, the little boy didn't seem to be hurt, and the mother sat there for a moment with her arms wrapped around him, most likely trying to come to grips with what could have just happened. Several bystanders, now gathered around the pair, began applauding the mother's heroic actions. Hopefully, after this incident, the building will fix the broken railing so nothing like this will ever happen again. 5. Rabid dog. In December 2021 in Boulder, Wisconsin, a heroic mother lost both of her arms and her life after saving her child from the family's aggressive pit bull. 35-year-old Heather Pingle passed away 8 days after rescuing her 4-year-old son from the dangerous dog attack. The incident was reported to police on December 8th by Heather's brother-in-law, Travis, who arrived at the scene that day to find the home looking like a war zone. Travis explained to the dispatcher that Heather was dying and that her arms had been ripped off in the midst of the attack. The mother's child had been injured, but she managed to lock herself in the bathroom with the dangerous animal to avoid any further threat to her son. When Deputy Eric Strike from the Shawanoe County Sheriff's Office showed up at the house, he discovered Heather's partner, Shane, visibly in shock and unable to speak, standing outside. The pit bull was found laying in the snow in the front yard in a pool of its own blood. Heather was lying on the floor of a downstairs bathroom, her sweater soaked in blood, and her arms completely mangled. She too was in shock from the incident, and she was having a hard time breathing. Strike pleaded for the woman to stay with him as he and another first responder carefully transported her to the ambulance outside. The deputy then ran back into the home in order to take care of the injured child, who was found under a blanket in the family's living room. The young boy was covered in blood and vomit, and he had a deep wound on his leg that was bleeding heavily. A tourniquet was applied to the boy by Strike, and he and his mother were both taken to the hospital to receive medical treatment. It was found out later that when Shane and Travis arrived home, they heard movement coming from the bathroom, but the door was closed. Shane asked Heather if she was all right, but instead of mentioning the dog that was quite literally ripping her apart, she asked him to check on their son. After seeing the boy was injured, but was otherwise all right, he opened the door to the bathroom, finding the pit bull inside. Shane then grabbed the dog and put it in a chokehold, dragging it outside. Unfortunately, Shane had to shoot the dog in order to prevent any further damage to himself and his family. The little boy made a full recovery after receiving 70 stitches to his leg. However, Heather did not survive her injuries, and 8 days after saving her 4-year-old's life, she lost hers. Heather will be remembered as an absolute hero for her brave acts of courage, and if it wasn't for her, who knows what might have happened to the child. 4. Lake Powell Rescue. A mother was enjoying a boat trip across Salt Lake City's Lake Powell in 2016 with the rest of her family, when her 2-year-old son suddenly slipped into the water. 35-year-old Chelsea Russell acted quickly and dove into the lake in order to rescue her young son. She was able to keep the child above the water for an agonizing 5 minutes, until finally another one of her relatives managed to pull him back onto the boat. But by that point, Chelsea had fallen unconscious. The woman's family pulled her from the water and hurried her back to shore, where she received CPR from officials and bystanders. Sadly, after 30 minutes, it was determined that Chelsea could not be saved. A spokesperson for the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area announced that the young child was flown to the nearest hospital 200 miles, 322 kilometers away, but he managed to make a full recovery. Chelsea passed away after heroically saving her 2-year-old son from drowning. Sadly, neither Chelsea nor her child were wearing life jackets, which are typically required for boaters under the age of 12. According to Huan County Sheriff Rick Eldridge, this was the 6th incident of this nature to occur at the recreation area that year, and it likely won't be the last. but Chelsea will forever be remembered as a wonderful mother who would stop at nothing to ensure the safety of her children. 3. Bear invades backyard. A mother from Washington was caught on camera saving her toddler from a bear in the family's backyard in May of 2022. Samantha Martin shared her experience with Storyful and said she was scared and was cussing like a sailor. The whole ordeal was captured on video by the family's security camera, and it shows the harrowing moment that the young child notices the wild animal and runs towards it. Samantha explained that her daughter had recently been reading an animal identification book and that the toddler's favorite animals were bears. The child can be seen walking onto the family's back porch after noticing a bear trudging along their patio wall. The little girl excitedly squeals, "That's a bear," and begins running toward the dangerous animal. Luckily, the child's mother was able to save the day when she realized what was happening. Samantha quickly ran outside and snatched her daughter up in her arms before making a hasty retreat back inside. Samantha described the incident to Fox 13 News and said she panicked in the moment. She explained that the only thoughts running through her mind were, "Get the child and get back inside." The little girl was not afraid of the bear and instead ran in its direction, which in turn caused the animal to flee. The bear in the family's backyard was just a cub, but Samantha was more worried about the animal's mom being nearby. It appeared as though the bear was drawn to a bird feeder, which Samantha reported had been ripped down and emptied. Apparently, bird feeders attract all sorts of wildlife, according to Chase Gunnell, the communications manager for the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. Since the incident, Samantha has been educating her daughter on the dangers of bears and other wild animals, and plans to child-proof her family's patio door in order to prevent another interspecies playdate from happening in the future. 2. Burning building. Single Michigan mother of 4, Michaela Vish, courageously rescued her children from their burning home in October 2021. Lieutenant Derek Klink, a firefighter that responded to the scene, said, "Sometimes people call us heroes, and in this instance, in no way were we the hero." He gave all the credit to the brave mother who rushed back into the burning building in order to save her 4 children, ages 12, 6, 4, and 9 months old. He described Michaela's actions as the most heroic thing he's ever seen. The fire broke out at the family's home in the city of Chelsea at about 1 a.m. on October 26th. Everyone inside was fast asleep when the flames began to spread rapidly throughout the second floor of the house. When the Chelsea Fire Department arrived, they began to put out the fire as Michaela repeatedly ran back into the home in order to save her children. Miraculously, Michaela managed to save all 4 of her kids from the burning building. Unfortunately, the brave mother did not make it out of the incident unscathed. Michaela suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns to more than 60% of her body and was treated for her wounds at a nearby hospital. The only child that seemed to be injured was her 6-year-old son, who sustained burns to his feet, hands, and back. But luckily, he was alive. Lieutenant Derek Klink's wife, Brina, was so inspired by Michaela's brave actions that she set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for the family's medical bills and to help cover the costs that will likely be needed to reconstruct and refurnish their home. In just a short amount of time, the page received more than $230,000 in support of the heroic mother who selflessly put herself in danger to save the lives of her children. 1. Snake in the grass. In 2022, a mother from Melbourne, Australia, encountered every parent's worst nightmare when she noticed a deadly brown snake slithering just centimeters away from her young daughter. Daniela Vizzini was trying to enjoy the sunny weather in her backyard as her daughter splashed around in the family's kiddie pool. Nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary at first, but then Daniela noticed movement in the grass. What she saw was a huge brown snake heading straight towards her daughter. Daniela went into full-blown rescue mode as her maternal instincts kicked in. She acted quickly on her feet, and just seconds before the snake was about to strike at the little girl, Daniela grabbed her daughter and pulled her to safety. After saving her toddler, she runs inside her home, gripping the young girl's hand. The scary incident was caught on video by the home's CCTV camera. Daniela posted the clip to social media in order to show her friends and family the close call and to warn others about the potential dangers that could be hiding in their own backyard. She advised those living nearby to keep their grass cut short as the weather grows warmer, since snakes seem to be more active in those conditions. This encounter could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for Daniela's quick reaction. Brown snakes are known to be the second most venomous snakes in the entire world, as just one bite could kill a full-grown adult human in a half hour if left untreated. Which of these stories did you find the most heartwarming? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.